Hi, I'm Kristen, founder of Kristen Today, where I help you live your light so you can give your gifts to the world. In this week's considerations, I wanted to offer you some background to some pretty intense and anxiety-filled energies going on. Right now, Pluto is getting ready to station direct, which basically means he's stopped dead in the sky, just not giving any outlet to move through his energies. So we are feeling things intensely, things that have to do with sexual abuse, things that have to do with takings of power, things that have to do with the wrong ways of things going on. That's all coming to the forefront, as we've seen in American politics, through social media and everything. The story is just continuing and intensifying as Pluto gets ready to station direct. So we're going to talk about that this week, as well as some things you can do on a personal level to really help you navigate through that, including some of the lighter moments where you can integrate, where you can try to relax and have some fun. So let's go and get started. Pluto is stationing to go direct motion on Sunday the 30th at 10:01 p.m. And so until that moment, it's going to be pretty intense, but this is what's coming to the forefront. So in astrology, what we do is we take a snapshot of what the sky looks like at that moment, and that gives the character of what the whole entire cycle, in this case Pluto in direct motion, is going to look like. And what's very interesting about this chart is that at this precise moment that Pluto stations direct, he's actually creating what's called a yod, or a finger of God aspect, coupled with Jupiter. And why I'm saying it's so special is because the moon is moving very fast through the sky always. So when there is a yod aspect with the moon, it's really, I think it's kind of like, it's real. I mean, everything's divine timing, but it especially feels more serendipitous to the moment. So the focal point of this finger of God, meaning where the finger is actually pointing, is to that Gemini moon, which Gemini has to do with the way we split ourselves, but also the choices we have, so the ways we don't split ourselves. And Jupiter coupling with Pluto being the foot of that, or basically the energies mobilizing and giving energy to that moon, are the pillars of strength. So Pluto is somebody who in his positive light, can stand for truth, for what's fair and just, for archetypes and stories that play out, to move through them, to transform them, to bring them into a new light. And Jupiter stands for the higher ground, the morals, the mentoring energies of wisdom and age and maturity that comes to this. So it's really a moment where profound transformation is being asked of you and all of us in the collective. Again, with those takings of powers, with that misuse of sexuality, and really being asked to let us bring it into a new light, into a new understanding. The way this Pluto energy works is like a rock falling down from a cliff. We don't know when or where it's going to happen, but this rock, which could have been there for centuries, for thousands of years, is now moving, and it's going to hit a tree, hit something in your life, figuratively, something that's strong in your life, and make it something new. That something new comes with shock. That something new may come with disregard, with denial, but it's there. Reality is there. Just realizing I didn't put my light on. Let's put the light on. There we go. That should make things look a little better. So continuing on with the Pluto direct story here, it is also giving influence to all the things that are in Scorpio, which Pluto is the modern rule of Scorpio. Venus and Jupiter are now in Scorpio, and Venus really gives weight to our values, to our choices, to our the options we have in front of us, the ways we engage with power, the ways we engage with sexuality, the ways we engage with other people's control over aspects of us, including our money. So Venus being in Scorpio under this Pluto direct influence is also going to be ramping up some very old feelings that you may have around your love life, around your financial situation, about how you've given money to other people. Maybe in the past, have you gone in debt for them? Whatever it may be. This is coming to the surface not only for you to just feel bad about yourself, but really to give you the opportunity to make different choices and to empower yourself to make lasting changes in your own archetypes of what your mind is. So when we have negative experiences, our brains naturally will try to prevent pain, prevent potential death from happening. So our fear, our flight instinct comes into play when we have bad experiences. But our consciousness can give us the opportunity to see that we're not just a victim to circumstance, that we're not just in this inevitable fatalistic cycle. What I'm trying to say is that this Venus in Scorpio coupled with Jupiter is really about trying to push you and break free from your self-limits, from your karmic limits, from the things that you've held on to be cold hard facts, because in your psychology you have the power to reinvent the story, especially when you have this kind of aspect happening. So if you have some limiting beliefs about what a relationship looks like, what power dynamics with other people look like, if what helping people out financially, what your debt relationship looks like, all of that is coming to surface for you to take and make a new story with it. And like I said before, you may not know the rock is coming off of the cliff. You may not know what that looks like on the other end. When you make the changes that feel right in your heart, you can trust yourself to get through the other end and really find what that transformation looks like. This is part of the mystery. This is part of the engagement that Pluto asks us to do, is to take what we don't know, all the parts that are dark within us, including our demons, our fears, our doubts, and move through them with the energy of our consciousness, with the will that we have to bring light, to see a new light. And we don't know what that's going to be, but we can trust that when we're in our light, that it's going to be something positive. We can trust our resourcefulness in ourselves, that we've gotten through other things before, we can get through this too. You're never alone. There are people out there. There's community for you. Mars is in Aquarius still, showing that you do have community, you do have resources. You just have to reach out and get them, even when you feel vulnerable in this kind of aspect. So make sure, message me below this comment here. I want to hear how you are moving through these energies, where you could use some support, and I'm really, really happy to offer that to you. In case you have not messaged me yet, let's keep going on through this little bit of this week's considerations, and I have some tips for you that I'm also going to need to do. So any of you that are Scorpio suns, that have Scorpio rising, you're just like me, you have a lot of planets in Scorpio, this type of aspect, the Pluto going into direct motion, is going to have more an effect on you probably than other people. We're all feeling it on a collective level, but on a personal level, if you have some sort of Scorpio thing going on in your chart, this is probably going to hit you a little bit more directly. So first thing is to really understand morals. Now, morals aren't to say like, oh, I'm good or I'm bad. Morals are really your personal inner compass to say what's right or wrong for you in the moment and in the circumstances that you're in. There are some people in the world, as I've learned through the Enneagram, thanks to these wonderful people, I think it's called Upstart in New York. I did some training with them. Anyways, moralist type of people tend to see things black and white, and it really can cause a lot of rife when the rules aren't being followed, or that the predictable behaviors of what rules provide are not being followed. So morals, your own morals, and people who are moral attached people are going to have a more difficult time with this transit. And so what I offer to you is to take a different approach to morals, is to not see things as this or that, black or white, this is right or this is wrong, really to try to find the color in between it. And I'm not saying gray, I'm saying the color in between it, because every circumstance is different. Every person is different. Even if you can see what the best step is for something 5 or 6 things ahead, you have to accept where people are and hold the light for them to grow into what is best for them. So, for example, I have a friend who I just was talking to, and she has taken on a new responsibility lately, and she found out all the rules that she didn't know were part of that. That's a very Scorpio thing to happen. Oh, I didn't know that was part of it. Anyways, she found out all the rules that were part of that, part of the organization and the sharing that's involved with that. And for her to implement the responsibility in full integrity, which the higher form of Scorpio also and Pluto also asks you to do, she's going to have to shake some foundations. She's going to have to make some people uncomfortable, but it's not to make people uncomfortable for the sake of having power over them. It's for the sake of clear organization and for people to understand where they go, where they belong. So you may have to engage in difficult news, difficult situations where you're ruffling up the norm, and when you hold the light for what's right for the moment, for the people, what they're capable of, and the couple next steps after, you're holding the light for those couple next steps after, and you're making the small steps that are necessary now that may be delivered as hard news. That's going to help you engage with this energy a little bit more fully and give you some more freedom. I don't know about you, but I'm just talking about this and I'm feeling more freedom in my heart. Yes, it's not easy having to deliver that kind of news, but it is necessary for growth and for transformation. This is just part of the light, part of your responsibility that you've been given. So, moving on, another practice that I really want you to employ this week, and I'm going to do it myself, is really engage with your mornings in a meaningful way. There is going to be a couple aspects, particularly Tuesday and Thursday, very early in the morning, that are going to make your dream time very indicative about what's going on underneath the surface. And I want you to start dream journaling as much as you can, even if it's just like little colors, little things, and work on what the archetypes are happening, what your mind is trying to work out through itself. So it's not just enough to dream journal on itself. You need to take time to also meditate and reflect on how those images sit with you, and to move through it to bring it into a light that's possible to act on, that's possible to change your life with in a physical form here. So maybe you don't remember your dreams. Another thing you could do is to use something like the tarot, which also helps draw out what's happening in your psyche to understand better what's rising to the surface. So that's something else you want to do. Be very mindful of your mornings with your dreams. And then a second aspect of being mindful to your mornings is to take advantage of the days that have the breather moments. So while the energy is intense, this week has also provided you, the cosmos have provided you an opportunity to relax a little bit when the moon is void. And that moon void is all day Wednesday, as well as one on Friday evening. So take the moon void days to try to settle in with everything that's happening, all these changes that you feel internally that are percolating, making you uncomfortable, so you can breathe through them and move on to making, again, those necessary news deliveries or changes in your own set of standards within yourself. And Saturday, take advantage of Saturday. It's a Gemini moon day. It's very fun. It's playful. It's a well-needed deliverance from the intensity of the week. So then when Pluto does finally go direct on Sunday, you can feel a little bit more ready for it. So what I hope for you this week is that you can keep breathing through the intensity, that you can start to bring to light the information that wants to be revealed, the secrets, the limiting beliefs, the real truths where you're standing in your own internal compass. If you become more aware and more in integrity with that, then I really feel like you can move through the intensity and the anxiety of this week a little bit easier. And not only that, it can really work for you in becoming and transforming to the person you already are becoming. So with that, I want to encourage you to keep living your light, because I know that when you do, the world can really receive the impact your soul wants to give. So with that, I'm going to leave you till next week. Again, make your comments below. Let this be a space to process, to understand. Let me know what you're moving through. You can personal message me if you want to. I'm here for you. It's one of those weeks where we need each other. So with that, I wish you a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.